Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Before and Afterthought with their host, truly as always, Queen Krazy K. Be sure if you haven't already, follow, like, subscribe on both Instagram and both YouTube. Totally free and support me and my channel and what we do around here. And if you already have, give yourself a round of applause, a pat on the back, a shout out to you guys for supporting me and channel. I really support that and I really appreciate it. And check out my music videos, my album playlist that I got out. Raw SmackDown prediction results. We got the past Royal Rumble that's in the rearview mirror, and now looking forward to future references to Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania, the greatest WrestleMania in WWE history, according to our CEO Triple H. WrestleMania 40 years of WrestleMania, and it's gonna be the greatest. According, and it looks like it's gonna be the greatest. It looks like as if everything plans the way that we think it's going to go with everybody who's going to be there, that it will be the greatest WrestleMania in my book. But depends on if everything, goes well and who's going to be there. According to the match that already official, we had one thing happen and then another, and then things just changed just in this last week since the WrestleMania pre-post show to get to WrestleMania, and then we still have Elimination Chamber, a couple of Raws, and SmackDowns, a couple months still before WrestleMania. That even on the last night, anything last minute thing or changes could happen in that category. But we're gonna cover everything you need to know, want to know, and more in this. It's gonna be a 50-minute long podcast for this one, so it's going to be a double podcast. It's going to cover everything over the last week and this past week, so it's going to be a double knockout podcast, and we're going to cover it all in 50 minutes. If we go over, that's great, but 50 minutes is the score that we are going to, and the time limit that we are going for this double podcast. So like I said before, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. You're missing out. This podcast is going to be amazing and great, as my other one's just going to double up everything and all the information you want to know and need to know more. And also, for my last podcast that I did, it's going to change a little bit to WrestleMania, as everything is changing so much. We just got to keep up with the flow as it goes, because in a blink of an eye, like this past week, everything went all haywire and totally changed. And to what we think the match is going to happen, what we want match, and who we want to be there, and what's going on around here a little bit on haywire, trying to get things on track. As the CEO, Triple H is the boss at the end of the day. We clear that up. It will be Cody Rhodes facing Roman Reigns for the WWE Championship belt at WrestleMania, Mr. Royal Rumble winner. And I think that Cody Rhodes needs to dethrone Roman for the championship belt to prove to him that he can do it and bring the championship belt to Monday Night Raw, have some competitors against Cody Rhodes, and get his first championship belt in his WWE career at WrestleMania against, and on top of that, the only one to dethrone Roman in 3 years, and gets to prove to Roman, I can and I am and I did beat you at WrestleMania, the only one to defeat you in 3 years, and I get my first championship belt in WWE history to prove you and all the doubters wrong, get the love and respect that he already has, would just be the icing on the cake, what he needs to do to finish his story, as far as proving to Roman Reigns, I can beat you. Because he's doubted him since day one, so that's something he needs to do. And that's something that I want to happen too, and want to see. It's going to be a great match. It's going to be blood, sweat, and tears left in there, because Roman Reigns is going to look down on Cody like, oh, you're not made for this, and try to tear him down with talking and dominating him at the same time. Has been undefeated for a reason. And then there's Cody Rhodes that's like, I put my heart in this ring, and that's the strongest weapon that you can have. 2-time Royal Rumble winner, a second Hall of Fame generation legendary, keeping on that legacy that you seem to always try to throw at him like it's shade. But he's going to take it as strength and power, and he's got anger in him too, because you keep talking about his family, you keep downing him as an athlete, as a superstar, and you don't believe in him. So he wants to make you believe in him, show you those hits, show you how strong and athletic he could be in that ring. He's going to pull out all the stunts on you, and at the end of the day, I want to see Cody Rhodes dethroned Roman Reigns, the first superstar to do it in 3 years, get a WrestleMania main event, and hold the WWE Championship for the first time in his WWE career. Make him respect him. Make Roman Reigns respect Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 40. I think that'll happen. That's my little prediction for WrestleMania as we got the official match. Since this past WrestleMania, Pros XL, everything went all haywire, but totally flipped the scripts of what match is going on. And we had a few things that could have happened, or we could have had The Rock involved for a triple threat because he slapped him, and also he wants to prove Roman Reigns I could beat you. But then I'm like, that's not really a good idea because then it'll be more like a 2-on-1 handicap match. With them being blood and family, that's stronger than any friendship or perspective you got. So then I'm like, well, since Seth Rollins been taking jabs at The Rock as a world heavyweight champion, he's been taking jabs at him a little bit, like, hey, big guy, you're good, but we don't need you, and can't just do whatever you want, making remarks like that. Seems like it's going to be Roman Reigns for the championship belt against Cody, and then maybe The Rock and Seth Rollins for the championship belt. Kind of switch it that way so it doesn't end up in triple threat but 2-on-1 handicap situation. Champion against champion, and then those would be great matches. Like those, can't get no better than that at this WrestleMania. So then we're like, well, Seth already said he'll be in the corner for Cody Rhodes, which I figure that much. So instead of defending his title, he's just going to be in his corner. So I'm like, maybe Seth can do something where he's there and has his back, but not really an official match. So you can kind of rest, but also have Cody's back like he's been having, especially these last few weeks. But he always said, hey, I got respect for him. Even when their rival was gone, they said they had respect for each other, and he's shown that better than he can tell him. Sticking up for him, sticking up for his family, sticking up for what his destiny and what his dream is, and supporting it 100%, and also not letting anybody take that away from him, being by his side, both physically and mentality, and of course giving him a little bit of advice, of wisdom, because him as a world heavyweight champion, taking the biggest guy down, him having to slay the Kingslayer of Triple H at WrestleMania for the championship belt, him having to slay Beast Slayer for the WWE Championship belt, Universal Championship belt against Brock Lesnar. He's bigger, he's stronger, he's overlooking you, overpowering you, and Seth had to show him, I can beat you, I can do this, take that Universal Championship from him, so he knows how it is you versus Roman Reigns looking down on you, like you don't belong here, and even gonna tell you things that you don't want to hear. But I mean, you heard it 1,000 times. You heard him speak constantly about you, and he's gonna get under your skin. He's gonna do everything he can, both mentality and physically. And that's when Cody's gonna have to dig all he's got, and that's that heart that's stronger than anything, that strongest weapon you can use, and take that title against Roman at WrestleMania to not only prove the doubters like him wrong that he can do it, but also he deserves a championship belt because he's put a hell of a lot of work in here, and he deserves it. And also on top of it, you get a moment of a lifetime. That's the greatest thing you can do. And then if I'm like, well, with The Rock, we get to see The Rock there. Maybe we'll see a world heavyweight champion, Seth Rollins, and The Rock both tangling up there at WrestleMania, and then maybe we'll see Jey Uso come out and make sure that Jimmy doesn't give up, finish what they started at Royal Rumble before the Royal Rumble, but it kind of hectic like it was going to be a WrestleMania match. Like, well, technically Jey gets to verse Jimmy at WrestleMania, which is something he said he would like to do anyways. Also, what the fans want to see, we kind of get to see that, and we can see The Rock and Seth, who you can finish those jabs, put those words into actions right there at WrestleMania to finish it all right there. And if Solo gets involved, I'm like, well, maybe Sami Zayn will come to the aid, knowing he doesn't like the bloodline, since he got been against them, he's been a friend of Jey Uso, he's always liked him, always been by his side, he's a friend of Cody Rhodes, so maybe he will been working with Seth and him on Monday Night Raw, with Sammy and Jay and Cody and Seth Rollins. We'll kind of see like a form for a tag team situation going on. So it's like we could see a little bit of everything. Then it really will be the greatest. We see a little bit of everything. We'll see Cody and Roman for the championship belt. Jay and Jimmy WrestleMania match, but Seth won't be an actual match. It'll be like more of a brawl fight. And The Rock and Seth go at it, and with Seth being world heavyweight champion with one leg, taking out the greatest like The Rock, taking him out off of his feet at WrestleMania, that's a big right there. Jay finishing what Jimmy had started, that's a plus right there. And Sammy just making sure Solo doesn't get involved because he does have that friendship with Jay and Cody, and he's worked on playing High Raw with them on several occasions against the Bloodline. And so seeing all that, that's where it seems like it lays. That's my little bit of prediction and theories towards WrestleMania as far as that goes. But before we get into WrestleMania, we got Elimination Chamber. I think Becky Lynch is going to win the Women's Elimination Chamber and face Rhea for the championship belt and Bayley in a triple threat at WrestleMania. And as far as the Men's Elimination Chamber, I seen that Randy Orton qualified, so I'm going to go for the Viper, Randy Orton, because maybe, since we already seen LA Knight, Randy, and AJ Styles go against Roman for the championship belt. We've seen it in singles, we've seen it at the Crown Jewel, the SummerSlam, we see him take out AJ Styles and the OC, and we see him take them all out at the same time for his championship belt this past pay-per-view at the Royal Rumble. So now that's kind of played out, that's kind of already there. You've seen him brawl fight, tangle up a little bit. Maybe if Cody beats Roman for the championship belt, we'll see the Viper Randy Orton win the Elimination Championship belt, or get a qualification towards the championship belt. We'll see the Viper Randy Orton win Elimination Chamber, who's been in there multiple times, who's won it before, win that, and then he could challenge Cody Rhodes for the championship belt. That'll be fun to watch, watching Cody and Randy. Cody representing Raw. Randy from SmackDown could be like a little bit of a Survivor Series for that title. Since, with Roman holding it, SmackDown's been holding it for 3 years. Over 3 years now, so maybe that'd be like Cody bringing it to Raw, being like, now it's going to be on Raw. Now that we won it, now you got to show you're a fighting champion. Put it online. What better than beat the 14-time World Heavyweight Champion Randy Orton, who would love to be a 15-time champion, and Cody, who'd be like, you know what? It would be an honor to beat Randy Orton, like a legend that he is, for the championship belt and represent your brand Raw against the SmackDown brand to show, you're the champion, you're the face of the company, you're the leader. Now it's time to show that. So that would be a good match, too. That's a good theory. That's my little prediction towards Elimination Chamber coming up, towards WrestleMania that follows, towards even after WrestleMania, even digging into Survivor Series. Not even counting, you still got Money in the Bank in there, that someone could win that Money in the Bank and things could change too. But as far as Elimination Chamber, officialize who's in the men's and women match, I'm going for Becky Lynch to win Elimination Chamber. Big time Bex. The Viper Randy Orton for the men's Elimination Chamber. And I'm voting on that. And then to WrestleMania, I'm voting for Cody to walk out champ. I think Bianca will get that championship belt against Io Shirai because she never lost that crown jewel. And maybe we'll see Jay Cargill jump in and do a little triple threat. Or we'll see Bianca take away from the title Io Shirai at WrestleMania. The Kabuki Warriors should be defending their titles. Bayley will be busy with their triple threat, or Rhea Ripley for the championship belt. I say it's a triple threat. So that'll be the perfect time right there. And then maybe we'll see Bianca Belair and Jay Cargill go at it for the title after WrestleMania, much like Cody and Randy Orton. That'll be good and a good storyline with him holding Survivor Series Raw and SmackDown, and then those two, Jade and Bianca, could take it to Money in the Bank. So we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, but I just thought that was a creative idea, what it was leading to. I wanted to make sense of what I was saying and what I was getting at, the point. That's why I see 2 Elimination Chamber, 2 WrestleMania, 2 Survivor Series, even Money in the Bank in there, and Raw and SmackDown. I think those are creative ideas and great movements and great matches and great outcomes and accomplishments. That's what I see going on here. As Seth Rollins would say, I'm a visionary. I'm a creator. In my book, I'm a creator. You're a visionary, I'm a creator. I see it and I feel it and I hear it. I think that's really cool. That'll be really cool to watch and enjoy. It'd be a great 2020 for a year to just the CEO Triple H if that would happen. But baby steps, step by step, day by day, you gotta see what happens. Because like we said, all in 1 week, it went from one champion to another champion. Then it looked like a triple threat. Then it looked like maybe a handicap, maybe a tag team, and maybe both the titles would be on the line. Like everything was going haywire. Got cleared up this past Raw a little bit, making sense out of it. And that's what I see now, that it's all civilized right now. So as far as what match is going to happen, now it's just a matter of who's going to be there to accomplish the outcome that you're trying to accomplish. So with that being said, as far as I'm sharing WrestleMania, Money Bank, all that good stuff, Survivor Series, all that goes. Right now, jumping the back, we've also had Naomi sign, not only return to the 2024 Women's Royal Rumble, who have creative ways to be in the Women's Royal Rumble. She won 2-time SmackDown Women's Champion. She's won Battle Royal. She's used unique, creative ways to stay in the Royal Rumble. She's returned at the 2024 Royal Rumble, and she's won Tag Team Women's Championships. She was on the bump this past Monday, or this past week, and now she's officially signed to the Blue Brand. Friday Night SmackDown welcoming the Glow. So, as she's getting a great welcome right there, I'm excited to see her back on SmackDown and in the competition. There was rumors if she was going to be, or maybe she thought about coming back and all that. Now it's officialized. We got Naomi on Friday Night SmackDown as a WWE Superstar competitor again. We're going to feel the glow on Friday nights with Naomi. Now she hasn't really had a singles action, someone to step up to her yet. See, I think with her signing to SmackDown, and then we had Tiffany to sign to SmackDown, that maybe we could see Tiffany from NXT, where, Naomi started off the rookie in NXT. Now they're both on SmackDown, maybe them being a competition in single action. Well, that took a turn. She went immediately to mention who returned on SmackDown and had that singles action. So, as far as now, maybe we'll see Naomi and Tiffany go at it. Possibility. And, like I said, Bianca will be focused on Io Shirai for that Women's Championship. Bayley's focused on Rhea right now. And the Community Warriors, they've been defending and remaining their tag team titles. I don't think they're sweating it. And I really can't say who would be versing them at WrestleMania. It's way too early to say that right now as far as that goes, because they just defended it and remained against the former tag team champ. So now I'm like, well, what tag team is there in the women's division that's actually still together that could compete for the titles in the first place? Maybe we can have a tag team tournament, between Raw and SmackDown, and then whoever wins that would go to WrestleMania to face them for the titles. Kind of like how we did with this tag team towards the elimination chamber with the men's. We could do that for the women's, towards whoever wins would go for the tag team titles at WrestleMania. But we do have elimination chamber too, so anything can happen in that department. I think that would be cool to watch that tournament, but I just don't know what teams to put in that category to make the tournament happen. Because usually we have like maybe 5 different matches when it's a tournament, or 4, So when it comes to tag team, it goes something like that. So, we got our Community Warriors, who's a tag team champion. We got our former, who's already had the opportunity, and Community Warriors remain. I seen Tegan Nox and Natalya being a tag team, so there's 3 tag teams right there. Turn into either a tag team because they lost, or a triple threat. So kind of all haywire in that department as far as the tag team titles go, and Naomi being signed to SmackDown. Maybe Naomi could create a tag team and go after the tag team titles again with someone on SmackDown. Maybe we could see that happen. And so with that being said, we got Mitch that could be her partner, or we got Zelina Vega that could be her partner. So I want to say Bianca, because sure Bianca Belair would love to be her partner. She can go after the tag team titles, but I was kind of hoping Bianca would go after Io Shirai for the women's championship. But maybe if Bianca doesn't win the Elimination Chamber, maybe we could see, because that's something that Bianca hasn't done, win the women's tag team titles. So maybe we could see Bianca Belair team up with Naomi and go after the tag team titles. If Naomi and Bianca win a tournament, you put some teams on here. I was kind of thinking, how would that reach to WrestleMania past Elimination Chamber? What would you do on that point? I was like, well, maybe we'll see Naomi and Bianca Belair be on the same team. If they win at Elimination Chamber, they get the Kabuya Warriors for the tag team titles at WrestleMania. And their opponent, one of them could be Tiffany. And I think maybe Jade Cargill, maybe she'll team up with Tiffany. Because she hasn't really showed whether she was a heel turn, a good guy, or bad guy. She just kind of got in there a little bit. And the Royal Rumble showing her strength and her dominancy. So maybe we could see her as a team. And that's how we can get Bianca and Jade Cargill against each other at Elimination Chamber. And Naomi and Tiffany, who just signed to SmackDown Elimination Chamber. And then they get the Kabuya Warriors, who would be Bianca Belair, to win the tag team title. Since she hasn't done that yet, she can accomplish that. And also Naomi, who knows, because she's been tag team women's champion, to win it again. And her and Bianca can be a tag team on SmackDown for a little bit. Maybe we can see that. Maybe we can see something different. That'll be exciting to watch. And P.S. If you guys come up with that idea, I want my money, I want my cut, because that was my idea for that tag team tournament and that tag team and the whole WrestleMania, my predictions at WrestleMania. So a little bit of your matches, you said, but I came up with the rest of the people and ideas for WrestleMania. So I want my cut. And Elimination Chamber and Raw and SmackDown. I even put in some Survivor Series in there. And this tournament for the women's WrestleMania. So I want my cut for WrestleMania, Elimination Chamber, Money in the Bank, and Raw and SmackDown. I want my cut. But I think that would be fun to watch and enjoy. I could see that happening. Instead of her going after the title again, why don't you go after something you haven't won? You and Naomi look like you was on the same page when she got welcomed to SmackDown. You were one of the first ones to give her a big old hug and welcome her. So I think, and Tiffany and Naomi didn't have an altercation with her, but Bianca Belair looked like she was going to fight her until she took a turn. So maybe Jade Cargill, since we've seen her at the Royal Rumble, we're still deciding which brand she was signing to. I believe she's on SmackDown now. We could see that happening. That would be fun to watch and enjoy. That would be a really good idea. That would make the Raw and SmackDown spark before Elimination Chamber WrestleMania even hits. So that's a little bit of everything. I'm thinking outside the box. And then we also, speaking of tag team, we got a former tag team member who, her and Rhea Ripley was the tag team champions, and that went all haywire. She just returned back. She's a part of Monday Night Raw. No other who was on the bump, who wants to get after a little bit of revenge against Rhea. Liv Morgan. I see Liv Morgan on the bump now. She's a part of Monday Night Raw and wants immediately to go after the title because she wants Rhea Ripley for, their tag team going on. That snapped. A lot of the tag team snapped. That's what I'm trying to think. what tag teams are left to even go after the tag team titles. Because between all of them, not very many tag teams are hanging around. And then we got like groups, but not, we have groups like Damage Control. Okay, now it's broken up. Now it looks like we got Io Shirai and the Kabuki Warriors that are hanging, and then Dakota Kai and Bayley on the other team. And that's another thing there. Okay, we got Io Shirai and the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane, tag team titles, women's champion. Okay, champions versus challengers. Bayley has Dakota Kai on her team, but who would be the third woman to make it a 6-man match? Maybe this coming SmackDown we can see that. And like I was saying, maybe we'll see something different, like Bianca Belair helping Bayley out, or Naomi, who's supposed to, I think she's a good guy, and now Bayley's, it looks like she's leaf turning to a good guy because she's no longer with Damage Control. I'm not really too sure on that, whether she's a heel turn or what. But, she's definitely earned the right to win the Royal Rumble. And, she's a tag team woman, first ever in WWE history tag team women's champion. She's a Grand Slam SmackDown Women's champion. She won the dominant Iron Man match that made history in NXT, being an NXT Women's Champion. She's won Raw Women's Championship. She's won the Royal Rumble, the first woman to win 2 Royal Rumble match. One of the dominant horsewomen that built NXT to come over to WWE. And now we got Bayley going to WrestleMania for the WWE Championship belt against Rhea Bloody Ripley. I think Becky should sneak in there and make it a triple threat because it was Rhea and Becky first before Bayley won the Royal Rumble, so I think she has a right to win the Women's Chamber, make it a triple threat. Because Rhea seemed like she wanted some competition, and Becky would be that competition. They're both dominant, they're both strong, they both will stop at nothing to get what they want or what their desire is. As far as that goes, with her on SmackDown, now before we get in WrestleMania, her and Dakota Kai teamed up last week to fight off Damage Control. But who would be their partner to make it a 6-man match, 6-woman match this coming SmackDown is the question. We got Naomi, we got Jade Cargill, we got Bianca Belair, but Bayley's done a lot of stuff to Bianca Belair, including this past Royal Rumble, that I don't know, I don't see her helping her because you screwed her out of the Royal Rumble. She still owes you a payback. So with that being said, that leaves Dakota Kai and Bayley. With no other partner there. Been a lot of enemies with Damage Control. So now you're stuck in a bind. Who would help Bayley is the question. And Dakota Kai to make it a 6-woman match because it's going to end up being that way. Unless you have just a tag team to start it off. But, it's going to be a 3-on-2 situations either way you go. So you might as well put it into a tag team action before you get ahead of yourself. So that's a little bit of my prediction for the SmackDown too. And my question, who's going to be her partner is the question. And, I thumbed and everything passes. I'm sitting here trying to think, I'm like, everybody's signing. And I was like, maybe Tiffany would join their team. Since she just came from Damage Control. You were just a heel. And now you're against them, so I think the only guy would be the heel turn, the bad guy, Tiffany, to join your team. Because you don't see Bianca Belair helping you because you just screwed her out of the Royal Rumble before you and Damage Control snap. But that would be, kind of odd to see that, but also, maybe you should try that because we've seen odd teams that we wouldn't think we would see. And joining, we've seen Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan, they had that going on against each other, and then we've seen them in a tag team action on the same team. So it is possible we've seen the Miz and John Cena win the tag team titles together when they had such, Miz always trying to get at Cena. So it's a possibility you could see Balor team up with Bayley that you wouldn't normally see. I would say she do that, and if she did, then get Bailey after the match to show her I didn't forget what you did after the Royal Rumble. But Balor's not a heel turn, so I don't see her really attacking her behind, just challenging to a match or whatnot, because she did screw out of the Royal Rumble and she does owe her a payback for that. Right now her mind's on the Elimination Chamber because Bianca wants a spot still at WrestleMania, as Bailey's already locked down for WrestleMania. So might have to put that on hold. I'm just saying, with that 6-man match, it seems like that was what it was building up, bringing out the post against Damage Control, tried to attack you before, and then last week Dakota Kai chose to help you out with a steel chair. So now we got 3-on-2 situation. It seems like we're building up to a 6-man match or a tag team action because you can't find another woman to help you out. But at the end of the day, you're gonna need a woman to help you up because 2-on-1 situation and three, because it's a 2-on-3 handicap. But we've seen handicap matches in the past when so we could have that happen, but not necessarily the go-to of what you want to see. But it'll kind of be fun to watch. With SmackDown on the Fox, on the Sports, on the Smacking It Down, the Blue Bread, it brings that little spark with crazy ideas like, this 6-man match going on. You kind of just want to watch it and enjoy it and feel that. You finally want to feel that electric and that electric spark. So I could definitely see that happening this Friday. But it just depends on if you got a partner or if you just had put in tag team and just, you've been getting them the last 2 weeks. So, but you also had a weapon too, and it might be a normal match. So that's just a little bit of everything. I mean, I'm just trying to think like what part of would help, because it sounded like a really good idea. Like I was talking about, you might see something go haywire, like maybe Naomi would jump on her team that you wouldn't normally see. Or maybe she's still kind of heel turn, we'll see Tiffany join her team. So, as far as that goes, that's a little bit of SmackDown before we know the matches for my prediction of SmackDown and towards and beyond. And then we also had the almighty Bobby Lashley on the bump as well, who's got this dominant team with him in the Hurt Business against a new team that's, now we got Mife that seems like she's on Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits team, so now it's even since Alexa decided to come and join the New Testaments, and now it seems like we're even in that department. Because we're seeing her turning against LWO. And then somehow, with the women joining the teams, making it almost a group, a family, a friend, whatever you want to call it, or a mixed tag team action. So it reminded me when Alexa came from NXT, and she joined against her own, what was supposed to be family, LWO. Well, that gives you Zelina Vega and Alexa right there. And then LWO and Esimo and his buddies, now it gives you Khalil. So you're on the same page as far as that team. So back to that brings us Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. How would you outdo Scarlett with the New Testament? You're even on the men, but you got Scarlett now. Well, B-Fay joined their team, so maybe we'll see them in a 4-on-4-8 mixed tag team action to clear it up, because we see Bobby Lashley where they got revenge at the Royal Rumble for attacking him for the match even started. We've seen them lay out a challenge and them kind of playing mind games with them before they got their hands on at the Royal Rumble, because they tapped them for the match even start. We've seen them even get in a brawl fight at there for having Scarlett help you in the match. So then B-Fay comes and joins their team. So I think we'll see B-Fay and Street Profits and Bobby Lashley versus Testament and Charlotte in a 4-on-4-8 mixed man tag team action this coming SmackDown. That would be fun to watch too, along with Damage Control against Bailey and Dakota Kai, just find a partner for a 6-woman match. So I would like to see that and clear that. As far as LWO brothers, I mean, you got Zelina Vega to handle maybe a brawl fight, or I don't know, maybe up the stakes a little bit since it's kind of ongoing. Since there's no, nobody's a champion to go for it. It's just kind of ongoing with turning against your family, basically. And now they just got to find a way to dominate you back. So that is a little bit of my SmackDown matches prediction, and then the outcome of it too, because we don't really know. I mean, it's only Tuesday, so we got a few days for SmackDown. I was just thinking outside of what we're all just passing by. Now thinking about SmackDown, thinking about now that Royal Rumble has passed, thinking about Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania, since it was a big part this past Monday Night Raw, and with the XNO WrestleMania post, it was a big situation. And that's what everybody was questioning and asking. So those are my thoughts on it and what I think should happen and what's going to happen. But a little bit swirling around trying to change it because everything changes so fast and so quick. You just got it. That's why you got to make your opinion when you can, because it's going to change. And now I'm saying something totally different than I was saying 2 weeks ago, because it has totally changed. And we got, I think that'd be cool. Then we could still see The Rock at WrestleMania. A 10-time WWE champion, a 2-time Intercontinental champion, a 5-time Tag Team champion, a Royal Rumble winner. The Rock has done it all. He's a 6-time Triple Threat champion as well. The Rock has done it all. The most electrifying man in sports entertainment, the great one. We still chant him. We still love him. We still respect what he does. Wear his shirts, say his logos all the time. So I think we still get to see The Rock at WrestleMania. And then what better than our World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins to be like, hey, I've been taking jabs at this big guy here. This is to show that I'm a fighting World Heavyweight Champion too. And what better than you take out like The Rock, the great one, at WrestleMania. So that would be cool to watch. But I kind of thought it was going to be for the title. But maybe Seth isn't 100% healed of that knee. So we'll see him at WrestleMania. But maybe we could see him take down The Rock. So we could see both and the outcome of it. And that gives Cody a fair opportunity against Roman for the title. And that is if Sammy takes out Solo and we see Jay take out Jimmy. You still get the versus at WrestleMania like you wanted, so I think you would come to his aid. And with you guys being former tag team partners, I think he would have his back. Cody had your back against the Bloodline when no one else did. So it's only right you have his back at WrestleMania with the Bloodline. And you wanted you and your brother versus at WrestleMania. There you go. Win-win for everybody. And The Rock seems like he wants to be at WrestleMania because, he's the great one. Of course we want to see The Rock at WrestleMania any day, any time. So we get to see that, and Seth gets to walk in World Heavyweight Champion WrestleMania because he's not going to miss another one like he's had to do in the past. So it's a win for everybody. Everybody gets there what they want. Now comes the domination part. The outcome is the questionable part. What will be the outcome of it all? Who's going to be there and what's going to happen is the question. And we had The Rock on the commentary. We had him on with Pat McAfee on his show with him and talking, and then we saw the American Nightmare kind of clawing back at him on Monday Night Raw, and Seth little jabs again that I was talking about, but really just wanted to stick up for Cody, really have his back. And the fact that we've seen Cody and Seth have that rival, and now they got so much respect for each other, it's good to see that too. As a fighting world heavyweight champion, you played mind games with him, you've had matches with him, you had brawls, you had altercations with him, and now to see you as a world heavyweight champion, like pretty much, I think you're the face of the company. Having his back like the way you have been and really being there for him really shows you do respect him and what he does in this business, and that's put a heart in this business. That's where I compare Seth and Cody, because that's what they both have. They both fight hard, They both bleed and put sweat and blood and tears in that ring as much as they can. They put their limbs in there. They still want to fight. We've seen Seth Rollins on not letting this leg take him down. We've seen him with a broken back, World Heavyweight Champion all year round. Cody had his attacks. You've seen it at the Hell in a Cell. Still fought in the Hell in a Cell, bruised up and everything, and still won the match just because they have the heart and the fight, and they are true fighting champions. Even though Cody hasn't been a champion yet, he deserves to be a champion. And Seth is a fighting world heavyweight champion, and to see them have that respect with each other now, after all that's died down, that you have each other's back, you look out for each other, like, that puts a lot of heart and respect in both of you as individual superstars, and it really shows, hey, he deserves to be fighting world champion like he says he is, and that he is. And with Cody, it's not, the same outcome like it is last year. Yeah, we got different people involved, we got different situation. I think it's going to change for Cody Rhodes. It's time. This is his time to be champion. And this is Rock's time to be there at WrestleMania. And to Seth, you're World Heavyweight Champion. What better than get your hands on a legend like The Rock at WrestleMania? Not defending the title, you don't want to push it. But in general, he's already said he'll be in his corner and have his back. And I assume The Rock might be there. I'm not going to assume that he will. That's why I said might, because don't want to get ahead of ourselves. But it seems like it's going to be that way. But we'll see. Because when we hear that The Rock and Roman Reigns, they'll both be in the ring here on SmackDown. So now that we know Seth Rollins is going to have the back of Cody Rhodes this past Raw at WrestleMania, now it's time to find out, will The Rock be there at WrestleMania for Roman? Then it'll be going back to what I was saying. We'll see Roman and Cody for the championship belt, and if Rock gets involved with him on the outside, our World Heavyweight Champion Seth, one leg and all, will make sure that doesn't happen. And these past weeks, Solo was there, but Jimmy wasn't there. But most likely Jimmy will be there, and you'll see him, Jay, there too, to finish what was started before Royal Rumble. They kind of hinted that would be a WrestleMania match, but they haven't really said anything on it. But we've seen Solo out there. Ever since The Rock came, they kind of, died down a little bit. The whole bloodline is going to be there. Probably, they're always there for the big pay-per-views and stuff to have his back where it matters. So we'll probably see that, and that's when we invite Sami Zayn to help out your friend Jay that you love so much, you say, and your friend Cody that you've had his back on Raw. We've seen it a couple times. So you had his back from Drew McIntyre's attacking him after the match was over just last Monday, not yesterday, but Monday before that, St. Louis, when I was there live. I seen it, it was after Raw went off air, but he still was there for him, had his back. So that makes perfect sense. That's where it comes to. That's where the bottom line comes to. That's where I think it's building up to, and how we're going to finish at WrestleMania 40 and continue to Money in the Bank and beyond Raw and SmackDown before WrestleMania and Money in the Bank. And don't forget about, of course, the Daily Elimination Chamber. But their thing already got Raw and SmackDown, and from Royal Rumble past the Elimination Chamber to WrestleMania. Let alone Money in the Bank afterwards. And Elimination Chamber, I was talking about for a few other superstars that still need to punch the WrestleMania ticket. So they're already past that in there and got it on lockdown. They've already cleared that up and punched their way there. But, that's where it's covering everything. As far as the Great One, The Rock, as far as Cody and Seth situation, like great things that they have accomplished in them individually. That's where I see it as. And that's why I see the line being drawn at and civilize it. And like the right said on the podcast, he has a lot of respect for Cody Rhodes. So like I was saying before, he could have that match, but I think that The Rock respects him, like he did when he first gave him his handshake and a hug, and people were kind of like, well, now that he's done that, Is The Rock a heel turn because he's a slap? Or was it a real life thing because, family outside of scripted is everything? Or what was that all about? And it almost seemed like, is this a triple threat? And then we seen Seth take a couple jabs at The Rock, didn't like what he did there, like, hey, he spoke to his family, and now he says he can't get mad. So it didn't seem like it was going to be a tag team match. Well, Cody wants a championship belt because, me personally think he's put in enough fight. He deserves a damn championship belt. What else does he have to do? Nah. He's won the Royal Rumble twice. He's been dominated. When he came back after 10 years, nothing but dominating Raw and SmackDown and WWE Live. And now he's main event WrestleMania. And he's backed it up with this fight. He's won Hell in a Cell when he shouldn't have been in the match. But he still fought in the Hell in a Cell and won. Shouldn't have been in the match because it could have ended, very seriously injury, career ending. Fought in the match, won, and here he is still fighting. Just a little scar there. You wouldn't even know unless you seen the scar. Because he has the fight in the heart. Then on top of it all, he's been going against big guys like Roman Reigns, not afraid to put his money where the mouth is, going round and round with him. He's running round and round with Seth Rollins, earn the respect of Seth, and now he has a destiny like, I'm gonna earn the respect of Roman, or at least if you don't earn the respect, at least show him, hey, I can do this. People like The Rock say he respects him. And apparently they got a whole long history of real life together. So, to see The Rock respect you in the ring, you've done all this hard work, and a legend like The Rock comes, gives you a hug and a handshake, and, tells you that he respects you, he has a lot of respect. To get that respect from him, that's all you need. He's already got The Rock's respect, the biggest guy there. Let alone Seth, a fighting world champion that respects you after all of you guys' fights, and outside of it, now you have nothing but respect and on the same page. That were like, oh, we just, if you back it up a couple of years ago, we would see Seth and Cody beating the hell out of each other, and now we get to see them respect each other, be on the same page, and now fighting on the same team at WrestleMania a couple of years later. And then you see like The Rock, who just respected Cody, but went to a slap, and then we're talking outside the podcast, Cody backing up on Raw, saying a couple things for Roman that's been doubting him since day one, who feels confident walking into this, and then this is Cody, who he feels confident, but he also knows, I think he feels a little angry on top of his confidence, but he's not going to let his emotions take the best of him, because Roman's going to say stuff and make him try to get angry, make him try to lose himself so he can mind manipulate him. And I think that's when Cody Rhodes is going to be like, you know what, I'm not going to let you take it, I'm going to show you better than I can tell you. Get mad and putting into the fight. I'm not going to get mad and start swinging and have your body slam me. I'm going to get mad, and when I'm punching you, I'm going to hit you right where it hurts, too. In the face, and doing everything that I can to walk out as champion, because he also has a destiny that he needs to beat you to show he can. He needs that title, like Seth Rollins said, to bring it over to Raw. SmackDown's had it 3 years. Bring it over to Raw, let them get a shot at it for a while now. And also, Cody's done so much work that he deserves a championship in his possession. You got guys who don't do anything, and they get championship belts in their position. But yet, someone who deserves it like him, who's a fighter, who's a wrestler, who's a superstar, no, he deserves a championship belt, and he's going to win it against Roman. I see him as a fighting champion like Seth Rollins, because they do. They constantly fight Raw, SmackDown, even NXT, WWE Live. They constantly fight and put everything in the line as if it's their last match they're going to do. Like, hey, I may not win this match, but you damn sure we're going to remember me from this match. You're going to remember this match because I put so much heart in it. You're going to remember this fight because your opponent ain't walking out without knowing you wasn't there. So that's what I like about Cody and Seth Rollins, that they put everything on the line and beyond, and they show up, they show out, and they dominate, and they don't need a gold medal like a championship belt to prove that they're the greatest or that they fought their best or the strongest. That's why I love Cody Rhodes and Steph on Monday Night Raw. They are so dominant and destructive because of the heart that they do put into it, and that's what it's all about in the midst, just putting your heart into it. That is the strongest weapon you can have, is heart. Because that gives you the fight, that gives you the spirit, and that gives you the strength. So, I see that happening at WrestleMania for sure. We also have, speaking of WrestleMania, we got our United States Champion, Logan Paul, going round and round with Kevin Owens. It looks like we're going to be seeing Logan Paul walking United States Champion at WrestleMania. We've seen John Cena talk about great ones like The Rock. Let's talk about John Cena, the great one that was on Logan Paul's podcast, who are United States Champion. Logan Paul looks like he's walking WrestleMania as such. I still see, talk about greatest and legends, Rey Mysterio coming in and taking his United States Champion's title back away from Logan Paul at WrestleMania because he has to. Now, I was talking about Cody Rhodes, the desperation that he has to, the destiny to beat Roman Reigns for the title. Rey Mysterio needs to beat Logan Paul for the United States title for what happened last time in their match. And also, in addition to that, I was talking about great ones, like Cena was on the podcast and stuff, who's have a great respective and friendship with Rey Mysterio. I see him supporting him in his corner. Talk about great ones in matches. But the question is, will Rey Mysterio be healed for it, is the question, because I see him on NXT when Dominic was on there. I see him, he wasn't there physically, but he was on the video, and I seen him on there talking to him, and surgery went well and all that stuff, and it's been a while, so I don't know if we'll see him in time. Time will tell. Otherwise, I wanted to see that happen this WrestleMania, but it could be happening a different situation, a different way than what I think, because it just depends on if that needs any healed or any better than before. You know, you don't want to rush it and have a career ending. But we also, with WrestleMania 40, I mean, it's already great the way I've been talking about it. I wanted to go to this WrestleMania because now that I know it's going to be great, I wanted to go before, though. Just, I mean, you got to save a lifetime to go there, man. If I'm going to go, I'm going to get on the floor, where you get everything, like, get CMP right there and stuff, like, make it worth it, because those tickets are expensive. It's like Super Bowl tickets, and they're expensive just to sit in the boondocks. So, I'm hoping maybe next year I get to go to WrestleMania, but I don't know how WrestleMania 41 could top this. Time will tell as it gets close to time. Just to say, hey, I got to go to WrestleMania, but not all the WrestleMania are the greatest. It's the greatest moment, the greatest stage all the time, all year, but it's not all great at the WrestleManias. Not always. Like the Pandemic WrestleMania, you forgot it was WrestleMania unless you look up and see the sign, because people wasn't there. It didn't feel like it at all. And even the superstar said, yeah, that was the worst WrestleMania. It didn't feel like it. So, yeah, now WrestleMania is good. And sometimes we have good moments at WrestleMania, but a good fight, a good match fight, But this WrestleMania seems like it's going to be all the way the best WrestleMania ever, like Triple H was saying. And I'm going to look back and watch it on Peacock over and over again. If it's the way that I'm saying, it will be the greatest. I'm just like, man, I wish I could be there and go. But when I was going to get clear back, obviously before, close to the time. But, go to these Raw and SmackDown, their live events is what I'm going to do right now. Hopefully WrestleMania next year. Well, it's already next year, but WrestleMania is already here in April. So, hopefully WrestleMania next year, 2025, April WrestleMania. Hopefully, get to go to that one, WrestleMania 41. We'll find out. With that being said, that covers all the things. That covers everything you need to know, want to know more, and my little opinions on it and thoughts on it. I didn't miss anything, covered everything. So with that being said, I'm just gonna close the rest of this out with showing them a little bit of Raw and SmackDown predictions and results through it all on here. So Superior Workers became tag team champions and remain as such, defending it as I said. Damage Control World Cup as I said, and now Bayley's going for the Women's Championship after she wins the Royal Rumble as I said, and the SmackDown prediction comes to reality as I said was going to happen. This was my lucky number for the men's and women's Royal Rumble. Right here, 29. There's a little question about both about that 40-man Royal Rumble back to 2011. Who won the first women's Oxa won 1994. I just took a while after that. 2011 was 40 men. For me, I just came out third. She would be straight helping him out. As I said, maybe they'll have that 4-on-4 mixed tag team match where anyone winning the Elimination Chamber. Hopefully, we see him go for the title again, possibly against Cody Rhodes. Following with the supporters and all celebrating Spotify #1 Ariana Grande, who was at this past Kansas City Chiefs, 3-time champions, as I said. Back to back, Sean were #1 best once again. Ariana Grande, Beyonce, Taylor Swift was there, celebrating her #1 Spotify album coming out in March. Can't wait to reveal it. Watch and listen to it and show a reaction. We got my album playlist music videos currently right now. It's talking about the new Wicked movie coming out around Thanksgiving time. Finally get to see the trailer for it officially, and this is a little bit of wrapping this video, the one I was talking about afterwards. Cannot wait till March. We saw, like I said, that's how I was able to go to a little bit of my other events is because I won the 94-1 for the SmackDown tickets down in Lincoln, and then the other ones, I voted that the Chiefs since day one. I've been saying it's going to make it to the Super Bowl. We made it to the Super Bowl again. Proved everybody wrong again. 3-time champion, #1 Chiefs, back to back once again. 8-time AFC champion straight in a row. Back to back Super Bowl, winning 2 rings in a row. 3-time champions, the #1 Chief, best tight end and quarterback that we have. Never doubt we're far from the underdog, like we said. Like our quarterback said, we're the #1. Everybody fear, love, and respect, or at least if you don't love it, you hate it, you will respect it. You don't like it, that's fine because Kansas City Chiefs is still 3-time champions, whether people like it or not, because we earned it. Proving all the doubters and hater once again. Never doubt Kansas City Chiefs, 3-time champions, baby. You can't top our dominancy. You damn sure gotta respect it though. You can't now because we already done it. You have nothing to respect the Chiefs. Did it once again. Been a good, great weekend for me. And as I got to see and enjoy that, like I said, I got my music videos out, got my 2 album playlists out. My Chiefs, 3-time champions. Got to see Ariana Grande at the Super Bowl, and Taylor Swift, and Justin Bieber all at the Super Bowl in Las Vegas. Everybody was partying. So I got to see that. You can see that in my Super Bowl video that I put on there. We finally get to see the Wicked movie, Ariana. That Can't wait to see that come out Thanksgiving. That's why I celebrate on the #1 Spotify there. Just wanted to mention it and put it in there for a little fun and excitement. Talk about big things happening with WrestleMania. I thought that I add that because you see I'm wearing the gear. I had to talk about it and talk about big things like WrestleMania. You got to bring up like the Super Bowl and the accomplishment, biggest all year around for the sports. WrestleMania biggest all around sports. It makes perfect sense. So this is a little bit of everything on the rap and the horns as well. And this is where you find and see how much we accomplished in such a little time with the months, days, and years and weeks. And that was this past round SmackDown for the same results that I was talking about. So I did a little bit of everything there. You had the Royal Rumble prediction results. You had the Round SmackDown, a couple of things in Raw. This past round SmackDown, and a little bit of everything was changed. And then this was the real prediction of it all. That was the last one at Raw and SmackDown prediction results that I was showing right there. So that's what that was all about. So that was coming would complete to my point and what I'm talking about there. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to watch, like, follow, and subscribe on both Instagram and YouTube. Check out my other music videos, album playlist, episodes, and podcasts, and my Round SmackDown prediction results. Check out what I was talking about. I will show you the next podcast my NFL for the press conference of WrestleMania, and I'll also put in the SmackDown video as well as I showed you. So be sure to watch, like, follow, subscribe on Instagram and YouTube. Check out my other episode, podcast, music video, album plays, because entertaining and that did on top of it all and additional information. You get a bonus for that. Support me on the channel. Totally worth it. Thank you guys who already have. And also on my next podcast for it will cover this week, you'll see my Raw results from St. Louis in it. And you'll also see my stand-up from Lincoln in it, and my Raw from here in Omaha, just a little bit of everything, along with this past Raw results video. And then I'll show you the XL Live video. It's really short. I think I showed it because it's really short because it didn't have a lot on there, but be sure for, again, as we be on the road still to WrestleMania. With that being said, be sure subscribe and enjoy, and Krazy K is out.